Powered by Pipe TV.
Tony's on the move again. Tony's on the move again.
Hi, and welcome. You are watching On the Move with Miss Tonni, and I'm here to bring you the stories and show ideas that you requested. So if you do have a story or show idea, you or someone has that story or show idea, definitely email us and we will reach back out to you. Meanwhile, on today's episode, I do have a special guest with me, and I have one statement to describe him. One man, but many skills and talents. Yes. Please help me welcome to the show, Bynum. Hi, Al.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. First of all, I want to tell you thank you because On the Move with Miss Tonni is definitely on location here at your place. So I want to thank you for inviting us into your home.
Well, thank you for coming. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Look, Al, first of all, how I met you, because you heard me say that you were one man, but that had many talents and many skills.
Yeah.
And how I met you, it was as an actor.
Right.
Until a mutual friend of ours put me on to the other things you do. So I'm here definitely to celebrate you and celebrate the things and the movements you've been making in your community, especially with our youth. So I am looking forward to hearing so much more about you because you, there's so much I want to get to know more about that you do. So I'm just going to pull everybody back for a moment because I want them to know you, your personality, right? I want them to know your humble beginnings. I want them to find out, and definitely, why don't you give us a tour of your background?
Sure, no problem. In the beginning.
Let's
see. Well, I was born in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
I was very young. I don't even remember. And my parents came here to New York.
Okay.
I'm not sure where I lived at as a baby, but I remember from there we moved into the projects. We moved in Noble Jewel Alley Plaza.
That's Brooklyn.
That's Brooklyn,
That's
Brownsville.
Brooklyn, yes.
In the Ville.
Yes.
And I grew up there, and you know, it was a tough neighborhood,
right.
You know, very rough, and I'm glad that I had strong parents, you know, because there was so much you can get caught up in with, I seen people dealing drugs, I seen people in gangs, and you know, my parents were strict. You know, like my dad used to say, hey, listen, you know what? When that light come on, I need you to be in the building. And I used to get mad. I used to be like, wow, it's still light outside. And people are still out. Why I got to be in early?
Yeah.
You know, so then that put me in the vibe of music. Because my oldest brother, he played music, and I looked up to my oldest brother. He lives down in South Carolina, and I wanted to do everything he wanted to do.
Okay.
He played basketball, so I played basketball.
So what's the age difference between you guys?
Oh my God, let's see. I ain't ashamed of my age. I'm 54, and he's 62.
Okay, so a big brother for real.
Big brother, yes. So, you know, wanting to do everything he wanted to do, so I played basketball, which was my first love, but being I had to be in so early and I had to get upset, I had to figure out what can I do so I ain't got to be upset or keep lying to my friends.
Right.
So I started doing music. So I didn't mind being in the house. I got a bass guitar, I had a lead guitar,
well,
I had
that's
a keyboard.
Before you even go into the music, like what part of the music? Because I mean, you said you play, but how did you get into playing? Or a little birdie told me, I'm gonna say this. A little birdie told me that you actually into rap.
Oh, I used
you
to do
were
that
a rapper.
Too. I used to do that too. You know, the funny thing about it was, me as a kid, I was one of those kids that would get into everything. Whatever came out doing, I used to break dance when it came out. I used to pop a little something,
right.
And then I got into rapping. I seen that, and I was like, wow. So I started rapping, and
like, and then, real rapping, like spitting some bars.
But my stuff was positive.
Okay, because I was about to say, what did you rap about?
Right, when you see, like a lot of these rappers today, you'll see they title of the song, and it got nothing to do with what, they may understand, but the crowd don't understand what it's about.
Right.
When you saw mine, the title was what the song was about. Like I remember one of the biggest ones that I did that I won a lot of talent shows with, called "The Message to the Black Man."
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the message to the black
man. What was that about? The message to the black
man. Just basically giving some knowledge to our black people.
Okay, so first of all, how old were you?
Let's see. When I wrote that, wow, I think I was in teenage years.
So what you know about a message to the black man during being a teenager? You haven't even grown into a real man yet, a teenager.
Yeah, but you know what it was that I used to watch so much stuff go on. Like I said, I was a different type of kid. I watched things that was going on. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I always said when I rapped about something, I wanted to talk about something. So when I did that message to the black man, I was like, wow. But when I first wrote it, I was rough on white people. I was, and I was like, wow,
Keeping it real.
I said, if this come out like that, it's not gonna get no radio play. So I had to revamp it. It still was on point on what I was trying to say,
right?
But it wasn't so much pointing the finger,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I still remember my lyrics today. That was God knows.
Well, give us a little something then.
Okay.
I always put people on pause there.
All right.
Go ahead.
A little something. I'm going to tell you a little something about the world today. And if you listen to me, I'm going to say it this way. We got people in this world called the human race. But if you ask me, I say it's just a disgrace. We got rich white people walking around and a little something like that. I get a little something like that.
Okay. And if you stop for a moment, just a little bit of lyrics that you just gave is so relevant to what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
And the favorite verse that I wrote was at the end when I wrote about Dr. King. I spoke about Dr. King, and that was deep. And I won a lot of talent shows with that.
Wow.
A lot of talent shows.
Wow.
And then I moved on to the next thing. It was like, I saw I wasn't doing that. Then I moved on to DJing, which I still do to this day.
Still as a teenager, you were DJing.
But I would say now I was maybe in my 20s when I started that. Right.
Okay. And went to school, went to college? Or?
Yes. Well, I actually went to Livingstone College, which is in Salisbury, North Carolina, and I went there on a basketball scholarship because I played basketball.
Okay, so. Loving basketball, folks. Loving basketball. Yeah. Well, look, we're gonna come back so you could finish and tell us and bring us through your mid years there in your 20s, 30s, and tell us what was going on during that time. Okay, so you're gonna stay right here.
I ain't going nowhere.
All right,
right here.
All right. So when we come back, we're gonna hear some more of Al.
Tony's on the move again.
Hey, welcome back. We are here with my special guest today, Al Bynum. And when we last left, you were talking about your teenage years, being loving basketball and music and doing all that stuff. And now we're moving on and you're doing more music, pursuing some more music. So tell us what was going on during the music phase, picking up instruments and whatnot.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to do everything that my brother did. So he played lead guitar. And I got a lead guitar, and I was playing it, and he showed me all the chords. But that was rough for me, like. But I wanted to do it. But then I remember seeing a bass guitar, and I was like, wait a minute. At that time, the bass guitar only got 4 strings, and this one got 6.
Yeah.
So, the 4 strings might be a little easier.
Right.
So I traded that in and got the bass guitar.
Right.
And I used to just play. I couldn't read music, nothing, but I had a great ear for music.
Yes.
And I even had me a little band.
What was the name of that band?
Oh, my God. The name of my band was AJ Funk. Yeah, my boy Jay.
Reminisce.
Yeah, my boy Jay, he played lead guitar, I played bass guitar. So we formed a band, and I had a girl that was singing. So it was maybe like 4 of us.
Oh, look at that.
And then I got a drummer and stuff. We never performed nowhere, but we got a chance to practice and you know, and just have fun and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. So now here you are in a band, you know. Now, I told you again, many skills, many talents, and we're moving into more of acting.
Right.
Because, again, that's how I met you.
Right.
How did you even get into this acting career?
Wow. Well, you know, but first, growing up in a rough neighborhood, my basketball was my way out. So loved basketball, played basketball, got a scholarship to go to college. And when I got to college, you know, acting was kind of something I always wanted to do, but I never really pursued it. I was like, it was basically on the back burner. And you know,
why was that? Was there challenges going on during the college years?
No, once I got in college, basketball that was it.
Okay.
Nothing else mattered with basketball. Like, I'm coming here to put in work, you know. So I that's why it was more so on the back burner. And I think what more so happened with it, and you know, keeping it real, be it my friends, you know, the college there, we didn't hang out, we didn't had a couple of drinks, and for me, I would look at movies, certain things would stand out to me. And so when we sitting there, we laughing and talk, we didn't got a couple of drinks, then I would say that part, and my friends would be laughing. Yo, that was in Scarface, right? That was Scarface. Oh, that was in New Jack City.
Lines.
Yeah, and they were like, yo, Al, you crazy, and I would keep doing that and keep doing it, and I never really pursued it more to after college. But in college, I still kept my rapping, so I was winning talent shows in college until they banned me from the talent shows because you know, they banned me because I was winning all the time. Right. So they was like, listen,
give somebody else a chance.
People want a chance, and you're winning all of the things. So you know what? You can perform at break or halftime, but you can't do it. So
that's cool though.
I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, sure.
I did.
Look, again, I know. The way you grew up, you know, you said your escape was basketball. So again, I'm asking, was there challenges as you were growing up with anything? You know, why you call it an escape? Because
I didn't like the environment that I was in. You know, people who never lived in the projects don't understand. You know, I was just watching where, you know, if my neighbor had roaches, I had roaches, no matter how clean I was. You know, you had people, if you live below somebody or above somebody, their music is blasted. They don't care what type of night it was. You know, I'm watching people doing drugs and just the whole environment I did not like. Right. You know, and then there was a drug dealer that lived in the area that took over the whole thing, like Nino Brown did in the car. You know, and I just was like, and me and him got along well because he saw that I wasn't out there like that, and he would tell people, hey, listen, let me tell you something. See that young man right there?
Don't mess with him. He going someplace.
You better not mess with him. And he used to tell me, Al, if somebody mess with you, you let me know. And they respected me, but I just didn't like the environment, so I wanted out. Got you.
Wow. Like, so here you are, and I know when I had read your bio, you talked about life experiences because you're doing something great with the community. And when I say the community, I'm talking about the youth. Yes. You're using your basketball, you're using your music all as a movement to help the youth, and you have a program called what?
Called Boys to Men.
And how I remember that, because I love Boys to Men. yes, Boys to Men. So tell us a little bit about that program.
Well, it's an after-school program sponsored by Mega Evans College, and it's called Pi Beacon. It's a Beacon program, and but it's so funny because, like I said, I was so much into everything. So when I started there as teaching an aerobics class. I was teaching an exercise class.
Told you how many talents.
So I was heavy into my exercise. So I was exercising, and I had a exercise class there, and there was a lady coach there that was coaching basketball. And she was coaching the young boys, and I was watching how she do it, and she knew some about basketball, but not much. But I mind my business, and I did help her out from time to time. And something happened, and she quit. And they asked me, "Would you like to coach basketball. And I was like, yes, because I want to show these kids
Right place,
the
right
truth
time.
of it. You know what I'm saying? So I wound up doing that. And I have a friend, Earl James, that's my boy. He works in an after school program with kids too. And his program is actually called Boys to Men. So mine was actually a spinoff from him. And I asked, I said, is it okay? Because I really like the name. He said, yo, my bro, go ahead and do it. So it became Boys to Men.
Wow.
And I started setting boundaries. You know, my first thing was get to know your parents. Because if your parents know who you are, know what you stand for, you won't get the problems.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So
I always say that to
I said, how can I do it?
Yeah.
And so on a Saturday, that's okay. People off on Saturdays. I get them to come in on Saturdays and sit down. How you doing? I'm Coach Al. This is what my program is about.
Wow.
You know,
and everybody was on board.
And they was like, wow, you know, they was like, you know, okay, cool. It got to the point where I had my kids sign contracts.
Oh. I applaud that. Right. Hold them responsible. And that was, teach them at an early age. Right. Absolutely.
And you know, and it's so funny because it became overwhelming. Because I had so many kids, I don't want to turn no kids away.
Correct.
And I didn't have anybody else to help.
So now you have different levels.
Age groups, right.
Yeah.
So the first group, I coached 3 different basketball levels. I got from 3rd to 5th grade.
Okay.
And then from 6th to 8th grade. And then 9th to 12th.
Wow, wow.
So with the
and that
Boys to
program
Men,
is still going on now,
still
correct?
going on now. I go into work tomorrow.
There you go, there you go. And on that note, guys, again, stay tuned because I've got so much more to talk about. Okay, so we're going to be right back and we're going to finish to talk about Boys to Men.
No problem.
Okay, when we come back. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Miss Tony's on the move again.
We are back. And Al is still here. He's holding on, guys. He's holding on. But I just want him to finish up to tell you more about that program, Boys to Men. It is sponsored over there at Medgar Evers College, and it's still going on now. So tell us about what Boys to Men is. How can somebody get to be part of that program?
Okay. Well, first it's a free program. That's number one because they're being sponsored, and there's quite a few Beacon program, but you know my program is the best.
Yeah, of course.
And the way I do it, I divide the groups up because I talk about certain things with certain groups.
Right.
So from the first group, I got from 2nd grade to 5th grade. No, to 6th grade, I'm sorry. And then the next group is 7 to 12. Okay. Because I talk about different things on different levels with them. So basically the program for me, I came up with it because I said, you know what? The youth are our future. And if we don't train them or teach them now to be held accountable, this economy is going to be crazy, and we're going to lose the kids. Absolutely. You know, so like I said, the biggest thing was getting my parents involved. Right. So now I got my parents. Okay, I'm doing what I do now.
Get them on board and everything else.
Right, and the parents was like, wow, finally somebody who really cares about the kids. You know, and I set boundaries. This is how you got to behave, and I wrote a whole contract out. And the kids' parents had to come and we go over the contract. They sign it, I sign it. They get a copy. Now your copy. I said wherever he sleep, it got to be up there on his door.
all the time.
Right, so he'll know when I come into this program, this is how I got to act.
Correct.
So we talk about everything. I mean, I don't hold no punches with them. I invite people in to talk. Anybody who has a story, just to show them that, hey, this is what's this about.
Yeah, you are not your story.
Right.
You know, you could be more than that.
And your grades have to be good. Like my kids, if you don't have an 80 average, I don't want to talk to you. And they want to be a part of what we're doing.
So they're gonna work.
So these kids work. And a lot of parents was a little skeptical at first.
Yeah,
but then and I said, because you're not pushing them. I want to push them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every last one of my kids got an 80 that never had an 80 a day in their life. Look. And I said, because we ask.
Yeah.
You have not because you act not.
How can someone get to be part of that program? What do they need to do?
The program is called Pi Beacon program. It's at PS 181, which is located in Brooklyn. That's on New York Avenue. Okay. All right, and you could come in, you could sign your child up. You know, you had to fill out the paperwork and everything, and have a physical, especially if we're playing basketball. Right. And that's it. and he meet with me, I meet with you, and then we go from there. But if you look it up, PS 181 in Brooklyn, you'll see that it's on New York Avenue between Snyder and Tilden. And you can just give a call and ask for the Beacon program, or they can call me directly.
And guys, at the end of the show, don't worry about it, because we're gonna have that information up so you can reach out, and also Al's information up so you can reach out personally to him as well if you have further questions and whatnot. But you know, that's Al and the community and his background. But guess what? He has a present and a future going on as well, right? I told you guys how I met Al was through acting. So I'm gonna add this little more title onto your name. Watch this: award-winning actor.
Yes.
Yes. Tell them about that, Al.
Wow. So once I left college,
I know he's breathing like he tired. Please.
Once I left college, I started, doing the acting thing a little bit more. And I had a buddy of mine, Mr. Omar Moore. He wrote a play called Mr. Nichols Barbershop. And everybody who know me, if you're around me, you're going to laugh. I just love laughing because I feel laughter is healing. You can feel horrible and you get a good laugh and you feel brand new. So I'm always the jokester. So he came up with this story, Mr. Nichols Barbershop, and he gave me the character of Pops. And he said, you know what? I know you, Al. I know how you do. Create your character, invent the character. So I made him this old funny man in the shop that don't cut nobody hair, but always mess with everybody.
So this is the first.
My very
this is
first.
Stage or film?
It was stage.
Stage.
It was a stage play. And oh my God! And you know it's so funny because I'm talking about maybe 20 years ago, and I still have people remember that character.
Wow,
and it was like I touched so many people and had them laughing about this character, and I'm like, wow, that's incredible. And what was so funny, where we was rehearsing, that was another lady there named Nellie, and she was working on a stage play herself, but it was her real life story called Lord Just One More Chance. And so in the midst of us both rehearsing and trying to get people, we ran into each other, and she said, hey, why don't y'all be a part of my play? And I was like, okay. So I got a chance to do her play. And and that was like my very first time, and I played 3 different characters, so I was scared to death. I'm like, wait a minute, what character is hard enough?
So when was your first award? For what character was that?
My first award was for a character called Brother Perkins. Another good friend of mine is Pamela Ellis. I met her through a mutual friend, and she asked me to come down and be a part of it. And I played this funny character, a guy in the church, called Brother Perkins, and I won Best Supporting Actor of the Year, and that was in 2004.
Wow, you see, guys, from 2004, and now even present. Let's bring it up present. What are you doing currently now?
I'm heavy into the acting now.
Look at that.
I got great ideas, because when everybody is going right, I like to go left. I want to talk about things that people are not talking about. So I actually, again, a friend of mine is Tyreek, and I would call Tyreek. Tyreek is a great writer. And I would call Tyreek and say, hey, Tyreek, listen, I got this idea. He'd be like, hold up. And he'd get a pen and a paper, and I'm going through the idea, and within that week, he got it written out for me. He said, here you go, I'll change it. And I'm like, oh my God. So I came up with one thing that I wrote called Down Under. That was the very first thing I wrote. And it was a little skit for the church, and I said, I want to show something different. And Tyreek was like, I called him, but he was busy on the part. He said, Al, you should try to write it yourself. I said, man, I don't know nothing about no writing. And I wound up writing it, and it came out good. And so I took the writing from there. So I just did a short film called The Message. And I actually won the S.I.T.A Award for Spectator's Choice Award for that.
Congratulations, Al.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. God. Al has so much going on, and just now going into the future, what are you looking for in 2021?
I'm ready to knock down some doors now. I'm going heavy. I'm looking to I did a film with a mutual friend, Shawn. Did a nice film we did, and it's different being behind the camera. And so I kind of like the camera.
And then that was my next question: stage or film?
Honestly, I'm gonna say stage.
Okay.
I would prefer stage. Sometimes the filming get on my nerves because it's like, okay, now cut. Now we got to do it this way. Cut. We got to do it this way. We're on stage. There's no cut.
There is
you gotta
no
go
cut.
straight
and plus
through.
you get the immediate feedback. Correct?
Right. Yes.
Look, I know you have some great angels watching over you.
Yes.
Through this whole thing.
Yes. Yes, and those angels would be, I had a fiance, Elvie. She passed away from breast cancer. My mother passed away from breast cancer. My father passed away a few years back. I think it's maybe about 6 years ago. And my son, which is right here, Antonio, who passed away in a car accident. So I know they're watching over me, and that strives me to keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going,
and
keep
you
pushing.
are doing awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Again, guys, I was here to celebrate Al and his journey and everything that you're going through. You, like I said, I only knew you as an actor, but to get to know everything else that you do, it's awesome.
Thank you, thank you. I'm blessed.
You are. I want to thank you so much for coming on this show, and I look forward to seeing you out there on film, on the big screen and whatnot. Just give the folks your contact information.
Yes, definitely. You can reach me at my cell. I always give my cell, 718-678-6943. Or my email, which is albynum12, that's ALBYNUM, the number 12 at gmail.com. Or my Facebook page. I'm not really a big Facebook page, but I'm out there, and that's under Al Bynum. And you'll see I got a picture of me looking like Malcolm X.
Yeah.
You can always hit me there for questions, any more info. I DJ if you need a party done, all that good stuff. Yes.
See, got only on Miss Toni's show.
That's right.
it. That's it. All right. So I want to thank you once again, Al. All right.
Appreciate it.
And I will definitely see you guys next week. Stay well, stay blessed, and I'll see you on another episode of On the Move with Miss Toni. Bye.
Yeah.